Starting to the bottom right of Tristram, we have the StarTale Terran player, the WCS Season 2 champion.
StarTale Bomber.
Bomber, such a good player. So much experience. Been around for forever in StarCraft 2.
And he's up against the Protoss player to the top left. In his second game today, it is
Soul Trap.
Kid takes a lot of preparation. We didn't talk about it at all, but right before this game, he was again very late to the lobby. And the second he joined, everyone in the lobby, all the observers just spamming it. By the way, say no to Bomber's Law. But he goes into the lobby and everyone spams go 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 go. And it's like 3 pages full of chat of go go go. Because everyone's waiting for him, and he just says hi. And then the game starts, the countdown starts. He's just a little bit more slow pace when it comes to getting these games started.
Couple of additional signs there also from Team New Zealand. The guys still failed to tell us where exactly they're from.
Yeah.
We had actually visitors from Australia once again in the studio last week, and funny enough, not from the East Coast, this time actually from Perth. And that's a bit of an oddity. Usually everyone who comes to Korea from Australia is from the East Coast, either from Melbourne or from Sydney. But now we even have a couple of Kiwis in the studio, which I very much like.
Yeah, I still haven't been to Australia yet. That's something I have to change about myself.
I need to go back to New Zealand. I need to get a couple of the shirts there.
Yeah, I was like, well, I was hoping you were gonna explain that.
Nah, there's just a couple of things that all the tourists buy, and when I was there, I didn't do that. So I have to definitely do it. Kiwis are awesome. I worked with a couple of Kiwis for 6 months together, and they are a blast.
Well, we have an eBay block here, which is going to be further exacerbated by this Reaper that's coming across. So Bomber is basically just trying to be as annoying as possible here, starting this off on Tristram, the 2-player map. Zealot really helps against the eBay block. It's going to force him to pull the SCV off for a little bit, but once the Reaper gets here, things are going to get worse.
It's so much worse, on the other hand, if you skip the Zealot and you go straight into the Stalker, and then you can't really deal with the engineering bay. It takes an eternity for you to actually just put down the Nexus. So in this scenario, he at least has the Zealot out there, but you're right, as soon as the Reaper arrives, things are going to get a little bit ugly for the Zealot.
He's actually trying to intercept the Reaper with the Mothership Core, and he's going to get exactly that. Fortunately for him, it does not redirect.
Yeah. Stalker is already out, and therefore the hopes of the Reaper getting an easy kill here are already gone. And if you just tune into the game, once again, Bomber going up here against Trap. Trap with a 55% win ratio in this matchup. And with a very, with nearly double the amount of games played, actually. We have Bomber with 51%, so both are very solid in this matchup. And this is kind of, I feel this is, for me personally, this is kind of the key match that we see in this team match. I feel that the winner is, the winner's team is going to take it today, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's actually a really good prediction, because these players are so critical for both players' teams, and Bomber is playing a super safe game, which is not what we always see from him. He's scouting early with the Reaper, he's doing that typical Reaper into Reactor Expand, Command Center on the high ground, has a bunker on the high ground as well. He's playing as safe as can be, even getting a quick second barracks here, not going for that aggressive style. We've seen him go with the fast eBay and the quick +1. Scouting with the Reaper once again. He wants to get in the main base and see if it's robotics tech, so you can feel comfortable knowing that there's no all-in or any timing or any sort of quick tease coming in. And he will see exactly that. Also sees the Forge.
Sees the Forge, and with the placement of the Forge, it looked like he wanted to block the Reaper here for a second, but that didn't work. There was a small gap, and the Reaper gets in, sees everything. That was really nice. He wanted to place down the Forge anyways, and then he tried to utilize that small gap and block it completely so that the Reaper was trapped and had to go up against those 2 Stalkers. But at this point, a lot of bio units once again for Bomber, and he's trying to trap that Zealot, but the Zealot gets away in time.
Yeah, that was a funny little situation there. Bomber must have been looking at something else at the time, maybe microing his Reaper, because he lost a Marine there.
That must have been the shittiest feeling in the entire world, to be the one Marine that gets sent down the ramp.
He's like, hey guys, you see that Zealot? You see him, right?
And they're drawing just straws, and it's like, oh my god, I got the shot one, I have to go first.
Well, this is really nice pressure here by Trap. Nice micro by Bomber, on the other hand, saving both of those Marines, and also keeps his SCV alive. Yeah. The bunker should finish here.
Yeah, Bomber's doing a really good job with this micro, losing nothing here. really amazing. But on the other hand, of course, losing a lot of hit points, so he has to wait a little bit longer until we have Medivacs in the game before he can really utilize those Marines.
Exactly.
But, I mean, with the combat shield, he can always, or with the Stimpack, of course, he can always just hit the T button, go for a quick burst, and move outside of the bunker range if he sees the Stalkers just waiting there. But in this particular scenario, he's most likely just going to wait for the first Medivacs, heal up the Marines, and then drop it to his opponent's main base or going for the natural.
Exactly. He hasn't played a strategy where he's rushing out upgrades or rushing out barracks to do an attack or do a timing. He still has some times with the Medivacs, so for him, as long as he keeps the Marines alive, like you said, waiting for the Medivacs is definitely the best choice. Observer looked like it was spotted here, but it was too far away, and Bomber didn't want to stim for it. So he may scan here, not quite so.
One of the things that Bomber said when I talked a lot with him about the matchup was that he actually really doesn't like the Mothership Core in general because he feels that it gives the Protoss player too much safety in the early game. That there's nothing that he can really do with his Marines. Just move out and maybe bait out the overcharge, but whatever he does, he can't accomplish a lot. So that's one of the reasons why we don't always see him play too overly aggressive up to the point where he really has a force that can accomplish something.
Yeah. A lot of Terran players, in fact, have that sentiment right now.
I mean, think about Wings of Liberty, when we had actually Terran players at the end always trying to just send a few Marines around his opponent's Stalkers, going into the mineral line and do damage. We don't see this anymore, and for that very reason, if you have the Mothership Core at home, that's all that you need to deal with those.
Yeah, exactly. And the Protoss late game is so scary right now for most Terrans because Protoss have figured out really how to tech the Storm effectively, using that Mothership Core to be safe. And also Warp Prism play, which we do see right now on the way, is giving Terrans some problems. These drops should easily be shut down by the Mothership Core and the Colossus.
Especially since they were already scouted. The second observer sees the dropships again. But it's also what you expect as a Protoss player, that you get dropped. And Bomber is trying to make that work. Oh, this is not Ohana. We have actually one man left behind.
Ouch.
That hurt. Doesn't even get him burial or anything.
Yeah. Burned alive here. And another thing is Bomber does not see the Twilight Counts or the Temple Archive, so he doesn't know that that's the tech switch that's coming up here. He's going to try to run into the natural, but there's a few units here, and he has the Mothership Core ready in between bases, so it's easily accessible. He can use the overcharge on both Nexi if he needs to, and he should be able to do this right away. Templar warping it at the worst possible time on the other hand.
That was so worth it. Wow, he actually gets out with everything here, doesn't even need the afterburners here. But that was great. Moving in, taking down... Did he take down 2 High Templars or only 1? 2 High Templars and the Sentry. But
he scouts the Templar. He knows Templar Archives is done.
What I really like, by the way, is the observer positioning that we have for Trap. He has really good vision on the map, has a really good hold in this. But Bomber is now moving out and is starting to take control, or at least trying to take control of this game and of the map just in general. And for now, Trap is just sitting tight on his 2 bases, trying to get his tech out as fast as possible. Bomber with the knowledge is going for the counter, straight for the Ghost Academy. But this army that we see here could do a lot, but is once again spotted.
This timing is so razor thin. Storm just seconds away from completion. Overcharge is good. He's going to need a few more seconds for that Storm. Bomber is playing with fire here. Storm is done, and he's got them ready. Bomber eating way too much damage here.
Yeah, way too much damage, but he didn't lose anything just yet.
That's true.
Didn't lose any units, but he lost a lot of hit points. At the same time, at the bottom right, we already have a Warp Prism trying to go for the Zealots here, taking down a few of the SCVs, immediately retreating, and the SCV pool alone already costing Bomber a lot here, of course, and he has to stim again.
Yeah, he's stimming again, and if no units are here to deal with this, he actually decides to commit a few more Warp-ins, and may even force Bomber to stim one more time. Should be able to kill an SCV or 2 and get away. The Vikings on the chase.
Vikings moving in finally, and Trap at this point just has put on his keen glasses and is going for the deal with it.
Yeah, can't believe he didn't get that Warp Prism. Bit of a misclick there.
Yeah, the Warp Prism actually got away.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. He's actually going to go for High Templar drops potentially next. I don't think Bomber realizes he didn't get it. I think he thought he got it.
Yeah, that's just the value observer right there at the front. I mean, Bomber never saw that observer coming into play and moving in, and now he has 2 observers. One at the third, one straight at the natural, at the choke. So that's like the best observers ever for Trap. He knows about all the movements of his opponent.
Yeah, and as far as upgrades go, Trap is getting his +2 armor way faster than Bomber. Bomber will deny this Warp Prism and could actually kill it if he microed it. Not quick enough.
Yeah, and we have for him only those 2 Vikings, not more. There's only 1 Colossus out there as well. So at this point, he doesn't really need more. But as soon as that 3rd base is up, what we're going to see from Chap at some point is the 2nd robotics, and then just going back into the Colossus production. For now, it's about Storm though, and here we have the SCVs.
Yeah, the SCV pull is good here. I don't think this is going to work. He has not enough Marauders. There's way too much AoE. There's way too much Storm. That was a nice idea, but it didn't play out as like Bomber wanted it to.
And usually you try to hit that before the Storm is done, but here come the snipes and the High Templars are gone, but the Storm hit home, at least one of them. Here comes Bomber with the SCVs moving in, but Trap is trying to throw everything against him, and another Storm hits home.
The Storm decent here, hits a lot of Zealots, but more bio, and Bomber's attack here has already failed. He cannot deal with the 1 Colossus. He does not have enough Marauders. Goes to the back here looking a little bit awkward. Mothership Core falls, but it looks like it's just going to be pushed back.
The Archon at the front is pushing the Bioforces back, assisted by all of the ranged units. He is dancing, and he has every reason to. Ahead in supply on 3 bases. The Protoss player in a great position, warping in additional High Templars, and Bomber, he's trying to deal with it, but I don't think that he will be able to turn things around here.
Yeah, and you know, Bomber played like this in his Code S matches, playing like this right now. His style here seems to be kind of figured out. Faster Storm is countering him. He does these SCV pulls. He just didn't have enough. There were way too many Storms. He took a lot of damage to the Warp Prism as well.
Trap was rushing for the Storm, going into the 3rd then, and Bomber's SCV pull was just doing exactly what Trap was hoping for. He ate those Storms, he was trying to counter them with a Ghost, trying to snipe those High Templars, but the position for Trap was too good, too much damage done to the Bio Army, and Bomber is now way down in Harvesters. And in Army Supply, it's still okay-ish, but if he doesn't do a lot of damage right now, then it's already too late. Look at the Army Supply. He's actually in, Trap is actually like 30 ahead already.
Yeah, with a few more Warpins, he passes him here because he's got that economy. Bomber's going to be shut down here by High Templar. He's got the cannon. Storm even on those medevacs, and
yeah, things are not looking good.
GG.
GG and game. And Trap wins it against Bomber, and suddenly Soul is ahead.
They have all the momentum now too. They've taken out Bomber. They've taken out Curious. You don't want to send another Zerg player up against Trap, so I think it might be time for Avenge and a Protoss versus Protoss. Yeah. Maybe even Balloon. Maybe this is Balloon's time. If Balloon's got a good PvP build, this might be the time.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you send someone like Balloon out right now. I feel that's would be a very gambling decision. It can work, but the problem is at this point you want to have a player that has a little bit of experience. And if you want to go for Protoss, then I feel it has to be Avenge. And Trap has a 50% win ratio against Protoss, so that's definitely something where you can say, okay, it's time for a Protoss player. And if you send out a Protoss, it's going to be Avenge, and I feel that Avenge is going to definitely play today. The question is he going to be the next player, or will he play fourth? For me personally, that's the only question right now. And then the last player will either be live or hack, and I would tend to live given his performance at DreamHack. But on the other hand, he just came back.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Both of them.
He did just come back, so
yeah, that's actually a point. Okay, that with both of them just coming back, they could still be a little bit tired.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Balloon either. I was just kind of an idea was floating, but
I don't think he's here.
Yeah, I didn't see him anyways, but
I think they're gonna play Avenge and Live.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna switch out one of them and play Hack instead, but at this point I feel someone like Avenge. I feel Avenge and Live, that's kind of it. Live doesn't have the results in the GSTL, but he did well at the last tournament, DreamHack. It's tough though.
Yeah, it's a really tough choice. We're gonna find out who they pick first. And Life comes out first. Life coming out here to play another Zerg versus Protoss. Rough against the track record of Trap, though. This is not going to be an easy one for him.
That is not what I expected, to be quite frank with you. I thought if they switch Live with Hack, then we're going to see Hack, and if not, we're going to see Avenge. But sending out another Zerg player against the Protoss that has nearly an 80% win ratio in this matchup, I would call it ballsy.
Yeah, that's a great description for it. Life currently in the Challenger League, ranked 43rd in WCS points. Come out 25 times in the GSTL. He has a positive win ratio in GSTL, but recently, like you said, his win rate in GSTL has not been as dominant.
I think the decision here is a mistake. Not because Life is bad or anything, but I think it's a gamble that they take here. But on the other hand, they kind of have to take a gamble, but I don't know if that's the right one. As it is, we're having a 5-minute break, and when we are back, we have our next Protoss vs. Zerg, Trap vs. Life. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a few.